Hello everybody, and welcome to technically the first ever Charged Up News. First of all, I'm your host, Justin. I am joined by my co-host, Ben.
Hey everybody.
Thank you. And we're changing up how this stuff works a little bit, just as a kind of a little, like, house, what is that word? Housekeeping.
Our house.
A little housekeeping at the beginning, thank you.
In the middle of the street.
I said thank you to myself. You helped none. Anyway, a little housekeeping in the beginning. I decided that it would be better for us to put out the news as its own thing earlier, than the actual episode goes live. Because by the time you guys hear the news, it can be like 2 weeks old sometimes. So this way, we're still holding on to all of the news for like one show in 1 week. But then this is actually going to go up the day after we record it. Every week. So we record on Wednesdays. The news portion will go up on Thursdays. And then the regular episode will still go out the following week, or, Friday for Patreon supporters, but the following Wednesday for the public. And that way we're at least keeping the news portion more up to date. And those that, only care about one part of it, you can pick and choose what you want to listen to, but I know you're going to listen to all of it because you love us, right?
Well, they love you. They clearly love you.
Well, all right. I'll take that. But yeah, so that's why this seems a little weird this time. This is our first time trying this. Let us know what you think. But yeah, we're going to have this news section up, and then the next actual Charged Up episode is actually a watch along of Jingle All the Way, just so you guys know. But yeah, so let's give this a try. Cause this way we can actually do news with the watch alongs, if we, do them in the future. This is kind of just like a holiday episode, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to start with the Punisher. A lot of people were predicting that there was not going to be any more Netflix Marvel shows because of the whole, Disney wanting to start their own streaming service and stuff. But, Netflix just announced the season 2 of Punisher is coming, in the near future. There's no date or anything yet, but I would assume probably 2019 if I had to guess. So that kind of puts to bed the rumors that everything's just going to end now. Unless they're just kind of wrapping up their current threads and it'll have like a, Defenders 2 after these next seasons of all the season 2s and 3s and then end it. But I don't know. This seems like promising to me because they're just now starting production or, pre-production on what is a new season of something after Disney's already made their announcements of, oh yeah, we're going to start this thing. It's going to be our own. We're going to, move a bunch of our stuff over here. So what do you think?
I think it's really cool. I really enjoyed, Punisher season 1, and I look forward to seeing what as long as it's the same showrunner, and the same cast of characters. I'm excited. It's definitely right up there. No, it's right up there with Daredevil season 1 as my favorite Marvel Netflix show. Then again, the past 4 outings to me haven't exactly been stellar, so that says a lot to me. But that's just my personal opinion. But I'm excited. More John Bernthal as Frank Castle is always a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah. I still need to finish this show, but I'm still excited season 2's coming because I know how much people loved it, so. It's never a bad thing, and like I said, it's just cool that we're getting more announcements with the whole Disney stuff going on. And in the Netflix world, Jessica Jones season 2 has received an official release date of March 8th, 2018, which I believe is around when the first season came out, was it last year?
November. It came out in November, the first season.
Oh, well, did it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, still, not too long. And there's also a little bitty, kind of mini, trailer they showed off too, but I'll let you guys look at that yourselves. But yeah, it's a small kind of tease of what the season's going to be. It doesn't really give too much information, but hey, we're getting more Jessica Jones, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you liked it, I guess. I'm sorry, I wasn't a fan of the show, of how it was structured. I love Jessica Jones as a character, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy for you, but I ain't gonna watch it.
This is why people don't like you.
I know.
Anyway, moving on to more Netflix news. Netflix announced their slate of animated shows coming. And there's a pretty impressive list on there. The main thing that excited me was more, well, I already knew we were getting 3 seasons of it, but more Troll Hunters, which is like my favorite animated Netflix show and one of my favorite Netflix shows in general. because they basically had the whole cast record like 3 seasons of that show at once, knowing exactly what they wanted to get out of it. And now they're just, they've been doing the actual production and stuff on it. This isn't the story, but it's just a side note. And since Anton Yelchin is the main voice in that, and he, unfortunately passed last year, 2 years ago? Last year? I don't remember. Recently, everyone was worried about the show, but they got like 90% of his lines done, I think, before that happened. Like they just did it all at once. So they said they're going to like kind of reuse some voice clips and kind of fill in what's missing and like rewrite the scripts a little bit to make sure that they can preserve him. But yeah, they're doing it like basically 3 seasons of that and it's over. Like they're not going to, continue it with a different voice actor or anything. They're going to finish their run and do it. And that show's amazing. So I'm glad that they've kind of laid out the slate. Cause season 2 will premiere before this, I think the 15th. I was going to say before this goes up, but it's going up tomorrow. So, but yeah, that comes out the 15th. Super excited for season 2 of that. And then season 3 is like 2019, I think. But this news is about a She-Ra reboot. Which was one of the, what's that? That's like with the He-Man and stuff?
I don't know. I just thought it was cool because I have known of She-Ra. I don't know if she's connected to He-Man or not, but I just like that it's another like powerful woman character in media that we desperately need more of. That's really why I put it in there, because I think it's in there and it's going to be animated too. So, and I personally have not seen Troll Hunters, but I watched the Voltron stuff, which I think is also produced and co-works with DreamWorks, and that to me is one of my favorite Netflix shows. So if it's of that caliber, at least to me, I'll watch it. I'll watch She-Ra, even though I have no connection with the character. She seems cool.
Yeah, yeah, this news story doesn't show anything about her being connected, but it could have been a spinoff, possibly.
It seems like it's.
I remember She-Ra being a thing,
yeah,
but
like like at least to me, I always thought she was the female version of He-Man.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But who knows? Maybe, hopefully, this show will like do enough to separate that. No, she's not just a He-Man ripoff, which I'm pretty sure that would be. That's going to be the thing that drives this series forward. Now give me my...
Do like a Supergirl thing where it's like, she's the strong female and like they might bring in, her like male supporting cast at some point, but like she's always the star type thing.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Give me my Thundercats reboot again. I want another Thundercats show. Come on, Netflix.
Snarf, snarf.
Except that guy. Fuck that guy. That stupid... Ugh. Okay.
Snarf.
Give me... I want... Look. Okay, screw the rest of Thundercats. Just give me Panthro. Just give me a Panthro 2-episode miniseries. I'll be happy. That was cool. But I'm derailing. Let's continue.
Yeah. Just real quick, just kind of to go over some other things for those that care. A few of the other shows that are coming are spin-offs of popular properties, like Trolls, The Beat Goes On. Which I don't know why they're making a Trolls TV show, but hey, whatever. It also doesn't feature the main voices, like from the movie, which is always a fun thing to do for TV. A Boss Baby TV show, which, again, why? A Captain Underpants TV show. Sure, I guess.
That's the only one I could get behind, because it's a serialized comic in a way.
I mean, I liked Captain Underpants growing up, but the movie it's based on wasn't amazing. So I feel like it's going to have that same style and stuff, but again, probably with different voices.
Okay.
I don't know, it's gonna be weird. And then something called Harvey Street Kids. Which sounds like an original property, maybe?
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's like these kids that live on a block called Harvey Street. And I think it's kind of like a recess, it sounds like. It says, from its never-ending games of kickball to the infinite flavors of its ice cream truck to the greatest climbing tree in the universe, every day on Harvey Street feels like a Saturday. It looks like it's another female-led show. This is the Harvey girls, Audrey, Lotta, and Dot. So yeah, again, some cool, like, strong female shows, but this one looks more like kind of a recess, offshoot, I guess, spiritual successor, I'm not sure.
Homage to?
But, homage, there we go, yeah. I'm struggling with words. Alright, moving on though. In the realm of animated, we've got the first trailer for the animated Spider-Man movie, which looks friggin' amazing.
Enter the Spider-Verse.
Yes, it's officially gotten the subtitle Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I've been saying it
which,
wrong all week then.
Yeah, you have. Which is a little disappointing because for those that don't know, this follows the Miles Morales story. So this was announced a while back with Phil Lord and Chris Miller producing it. And the director, I forget who it is, but he's worked on a few other really nice animated stuff before. But yeah, it's following Miles Morales. It has a really cool visual style that I love. It's very kind of neon and like hyper bright. Wait, there's a Sly Cooper movie coming?
Wow, that's old news.
Is it?
Yeah, that's legit old news.
Oh, okay. I just randomly saw that over here on
wow,
the side,
way to go, Justin. Way to go.
Whatever. Anyway, Spider-Man. This looks great. It's got a really good cast. I think we've talked about them before. Mahershala Ali. Crap, that's all I can remember right now. The villain is Liev Schreiber. That's who it is.
Sabretooth's going to be in this movie? That's weird.
Yes. I have a feeling he'll probably be like Venom or something. But what kind of annoys me about this, like everything about it looks great. The suit looks great. I love what they're doing with the symbol and everything. The only thing that bothers me is that because they basically already gave Peter Parker the kind of, like the plot lines of Miles Morales in Spider-Man Homecoming, they can't really do a lot of the Miles stuff in this movie because it'll just seem like a retread of Peter. So they're just going right into the Spider-Verse stuff. Like, Miles has such a cool origin, and like his kind of, his first year or two of comic book stories was all really cool stuff dealing with like his uncle, and like kind of, the family dynamic there. They briefly showed that. I'm sure they'll touch on it, but, there's some really interesting family stuff going on there. And then he's got like his first big fight is with Venom, like a new Venom, not, the Venom we know. And a lot of awesome stuff. And there's like some stuff with Roxxon Corporation and all this stuff. And then like 2 or 3 years into his comic, it gets into Spider-Verse stuff. Which I still need to read actually. I'm sure it's a great story. But it feels like they can't just give us a Miles Morales movie. They have to like, even in this trailer, they show at the end, they shoehorn Peter into it still. It's like, they could have given us a Miles movie and then transitioned that, have like an in tag of Peter, with the Spider-Verse stuff, and then the next movie could be a Spider-Verse movie. But instead, we're not even really getting a Miles Morales movie, and that upsets me because that's what I was mostly excited for. But I'm still gonna watch the crap out of this because it looks amazing. I'm just a little disappointed in that. I don't know. What do you think, aside from not knowing the title?
It looks pretty. Like, it has a very cool style to it. I may watch it.
May?
I mean, like, if I remember to. I'm just not... Look. I'm just not a big fan of Miles Morales. Like, I get a lot of people are. I'm just not a fan of his. And, I know, it's shocked, though. The Hispanic guy is not a fan of the Hispanic black character. What a shock. I don't know. It's just like I'm sure it's gonna be good because it looks good. Miles is a good character. I'm not saying like anything like that. It's just he's never been something that I've connected with, which is odd considering we share similar cultural backgrounds. Maybe just because you share cultural backgrounds, you don't connect with the person. Just thought, but it looks fine. It looks good. I'm happy for Miles fans that you're getting something. Like it could be worse. You're not getting anything at all. Which is,
yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong.
That's it.
I wanted an origin story first. That's all.
Yeah, well, kick it
because it looks like it's going to touch on that stuff. Like they showed Peter's funeral. It looked like Miles was struggling with his web shooters because in the comics he gets those basically after Peter's funeral. Like he doesn't have them from the start. He's given Peter's web shooters. And so it looks like maybe they're going to delve into that a little bit where like he's, learning how to use them around town and stuff. Like that looks like it's all in there, but it's probably in like the first 20 minutes and then it jumps into the Spider-Verse stuff.
I'll have to see.
So, yeah.
I'll have to see.
But I'm really impressed by the visual style. Like that blew me away. And what I think would be really cool if they, do this whole, like with the whole Spider-Verse thing, like the way that to use it best would be as he jumps into the Spider-Verse and like you see different Spider-Men for them all to have their own visual style. So like he jumps universes and suddenly it's like, a totally different, like in the comics they actually have different artists do the different, issues of Spider-Verse.
That's easier to do in comics versus to do it like a full animation sequence of that, though.
Right, but they briefly showed that. There's like one frame or like little bit where it's like he like rides across a car and it like flashes to this like kind of different art style for a second and then goes right back to how it normally looks. And so if they're already kind of playing around with the visuals, they could easily transition that into different art styles. It reminds me of like there was a TMNT crossover in whatever new show that's been going on the last few years. Where it's like the modern ones
wow, you're
from
talking
the
about
actual
something that came out
series.
years ago, my dude.
No, this was like on the current TV show.
Did they do it again then? Because I'm thinking when they did one several years ago called Turtles Forever, where they had the current show mixed with the late 80s, 90s show mixed with the comics version, and they were all different art styles.
I mean, that was this, but it was the current show.
Okay, I guess they did it again then.
But either way, that's the point. It's like they each had their own style, and like they were commenting on each other, like "you look weird" type thing, and it was kind of fun.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily look unless it's Deadpool. I'm not the biggest fan of Fourth Broadway King's shenanigans, and I made an exception for that Turtles Forever thing because it was this is never going to happen again, and apparently happened again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It did.
I'm being the party.
I think there's actually a fourth one too. Like the manga, I want to say, was in there.
I'm being a party pooper, basically.
Yeah, you are. Don't kill my Spider-Man dreams. I love it.
Man. Live it.
But I just love that we're getting a Miles Morales story in theaters.
Yeah.
I just wish it didn't shoehorn Peter and stuff into it. That's all. That's the only thing I'm complaining about. Everything else looks amazing.
Meh.
But whatever. Moving on. We've got the Alita Battle Angel trailer.
Yeah, we did.
And I mean, it looks very Robert Rodriguez.
Actually, I didn't think at all. I was actually surprised.
Really?
No, I thought it looked very different from a Robert Rodriguez film typically does, in my opinion.
I mean, he loves his goofy CG and like basically making everything look very like kind of over the top.
I was talking about more like set production and everything like that because it doesn't. I was talking about that.
True.
Like everything around it just didn't look like a Robert. Like, are we sure Robert Rodriguez directed it? Which is cool because he lives in Austin, so.
Well, I guess I think the most accurate way to say it would be that it looks like Robert Rodriguez directing like a J.J. Abrams movie.
I didn't get that feeling at all.
J.J. Abrams might not have been the right pick, but the point is Robert Rodriguez doing someone else's movie.
I could get that
because it definitely like it doesn't the directing style of it doesn't quite look like him. But the visual effects style really does.
Yeah, well, James Cameron is producing this, and apparently James Cameron is a huge fan of Battle Alita, apparently. I didn't know this.
Yeah. But visually, I actually think it looks amazing. Like, a lot of people are complaining about some of the CG work on it and stuff, but I honestly think it looks realistic.
The googly eyes?
I don't like her. That's the thing. It's like, I think, like, this actress is amazing. Like, she's very underutilized, but she's great. But she already has, like, these kind of big bug eyes. And then they, like, digitally altered them to be bigger, which doesn't really bother me that much. But then they, like, changed the shape of her chin to be more, like, kind of, like, slender and pointy. And that's what looks weird. Because it's like, her face shape is wrong. And I feel like they could have just done the eyes. They didn't need to, like, completely CG her entire face. But, I don't know. I think the cast looks really good. Like, it's a, great pulls of like Mahershala Ali and Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly. Ed Skrein is meh. Like he was fine in Deadpool, but he's kind of a generic meat face. But yeah, there's a lot of really good cast in there. It's got some of the Robert Rodriguez flair while also being a little bit different, but I think it looks good. It looks way better than it could have as for a live action adaptation of something that people love.
Yeah, of a manga. Yeah,
right. I can remember if it was ever an anime. Because people seem to be, like, way more butthurt about animes being adapted than they are when...
I wouldn't be surprised if Battle Alita had an anime at some point, but, like, every time I saw something on social media, it was always referencing the manga. So,
yeah.
But people seem generally positive about this, outside of the whole eye thing, which is an interesting choice, but... I mean, it looks cool. Like, I immediately went to search up to see how much the, there's a lot of volumes, apparently, of Battle Alita. Like, I don't even know where to start, so I'm probably not going to start. But, hey, If Jane Cameron likes it, maybe it's worth to check out at some point.
All right, moving on. I want to try to get through this stuff kind of quickly because we're running behind today. The Ready Player One trailer, the first official trailer, was also released. We've got a lot of trailers, sorry. And it looks noticeably better than the first one. I felt like the first one wasn't really a trailer. It was kind of just like teaser footage thrown together. This feels more like a cohesive, kind of explains the story a little bit. It shows more of like the background behind it and like what the actual goal of the movie is, rather than just like, hey, here's some cool stuff and some Easter eggs. It's still overloaded with like characters you love and kind of a, like love us way. Even that like little hype moment with the Gundam. Like they're clearly catering to, Gundam fans with that one shot that does nothing to serve anything except to get Gundam fans excited. But it actually shows Wade like in the Oasis. Like it actually shows his avatar. You get a better sense of what the movie is going to do, like how the world works, everything. It's not just like random hype footage. I'm still not sold on some of the casting choices. Like, I'm really upset that, I know it's not really possible, but I'm really upset that, Gene Wilder isn't playing Halliday. They really wanted to get Gene Wilder for Halliday, and it just never worked out, and yeah.
He passed away.
Yeah, exactly. But the filming, I think, was done before he passed away, but they never got him. And that sucks, because, like, you see that character, and it's just like, man, that should have been Gene Wilder. Especially in the first trailer when they played the Willy Wonka music. But
if you want to
I'm not a huge fan of Ty Sheridan as Wade. He's not attractive by any means. He's kind of goofy looking, but like he's not shown the same way.
He's not fugly.
He's not pudgy.
Oh, yeah.
There's this whole thing like where, everyone lives in the Oasis, so like they don't take care of themselves. And like they explained that he's kind of like, he's always struggled with his weight, but like he does okay because he's got the exercise bike that, powers his Oasis machine. And that's the only reason he's not like fat, basically. But they always kind of described him as like acne and like kind of pudgy.
Yeah, but they were
and,
never going to put
awkward looking. And
they were never going to put that version on the screen.
But it's just a shame that they couldn't kind of go something a little bit more like, instead he's just kind of goofy looking. Like it's nothing major. And, the other thing is people that don't know the book wouldn't know, and people that do know the book are, already spoiled on it, but there's a lot of spoilers in that trailer. And like when you watch the movie, you're gonna realize like, oh, like that probably shouldn't have been shown in the trailer.
Yep.
But it's all out of context in the trailer, so you don't really notice it. So like, I'm not complaining, but like knowing the book, it's like, alright, I didn't necessarily need to see that.
Yeah.
But there are still quite a few secrets and things that haven't been shown yet that I'm actually kind of curious about. Visually, it looks amazing, and I'm really excited for it, even though apparently a lot of people hate this book and property in general.
Yeah.
But
they come out of the fucking
I
woodworks
don't
with this,
care
man.
about that. Right. Like, everyone talks about how it's just like a nerd fest of like, hey, remember this? Remember this? But like, it does have a really good story.
Yeah.
And like, it's more an homage to the culture rather than just like a remember this situation. Mm-hmm. But I think people get too bogged down in like the way it's written. Because it's not terribly well written. It's just a good story.
Right. They're worried about too many hot takes. They don't have enough hot cakes. They need more hot cakes. Eat more hot cakes. Hashtag eat more hot cakes.
More hot cakes, less hot takes.
Exactly. That's the episode title, by the way.
Okay, cool. Alright, and one last little bitty trailer thing. It's kind of more behind the scenes announcement, but there's a new, is this a movie? A new animated Marvel movie?
I don't think it's a movie. I think it might be a show? Because they weren't clear.
Okay. I thought it was like a mini-series type thing, like a multi-part, like each part is like focused on different ones, and then like, I don't know. Yeah. Something is coming, that's basically like a Marvel Heroes Rising, Secret Warriors.
It's basically,
I think is what it's called.
It's basically a just to give it some mention here. We've got like over the past 10 years, we've gotten the popular Marvel heroes. Even some C-listers like Doctor Strange. This project Marvel Rising is a lot of the diverse heroes. So you'll get a lot of female characters. You got Spider-Gwen in there. You got Patriot, who was on the Young Avengers. You have you have Squirrel Girl's in here. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel making her animated debut in here. It's a lot of the lesser known characters that could easily be popular, but because they're not, part of the big cast, like the big MCU, they aren't going to receive that treatment. So this is sort of their moment of time, which actually, as a person who's a fan of the Marvel Universe, like, this is pretty freaking cool. I'm excited just because of Miss Marvel to make her big screen debut. But I'm kind of...
Well, I think this is going to TV, but...
Exactly. Just debut in general to a mass audience. Maybe somebody will find something. Daisy Johnson Quake is in it as well. Captain Marvel. Basically, just diverse superheroes you may not be familiar with that are part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as of right now.
Yeah, there's a really nice splash screen here that shows Spider-Gwen, Captain Marvel, Squirrel Girl, Quake, Inferno, Patriot, America Chavez, and Ms. Marvel, as all being included in that. I think there's a few others that kind of... it's actually Ghost Spider, not Spider-Gwen.
Because...
Apparently there's issues with the naming there.
Well, it would be dumb for her superhero code to be called Spider-Gwen, because then everybody would know she's Spider-Gwen. She's Gwen Stacy. Like, that would be dumb.
I guess, but it kind of sounds like she's a Gwen Stacy version of Ghost Rider.
Ghost Spider. She's just the Ghost Spider. It's...
Whatever. I don't like that name.
Well, it's better than it's better than Spider-Gwen, that's for sure.
I guess. I didn't know that name changed. But the thing that's cool about this to me is some of the actors that actually play these characters, like, in their shows, are coming back for the voices here. So, like, Quake is being voiced by Chloe Bennett from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In the show. And, let's see, the other one was... Squirrel Girl is being voiced by, Milana Vaintrub, who's going to be playing her in New Warriors. I think those are the only two that are actually, like, in a show.
That have previous established backgrounds, yeah.
Right, but we also have, Ming-Na Wen in it.
Yeah, she's playing...
Which she's not voicing her S.H.I.E.L.D. character.
No.
But she's voicing a character in the show, which is kind of interesting, but I still like it. Mm-hmm. Although, who knows? They're actually doing a Kree storyline on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, and she's playing a Kree, so maybe she's, like, double duty in the show or something. I don't know how that works. But spoilers, I guess, for Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know.
Yeah, way to go.
It's not a major spoiler. There's Kree now. It's whatever. I didn't say anything about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know a lot of the other voice actors on here.
Neither do I.
Boo Boo Stewart, I recognize as Exile. I don't know who that is, but yeah, he's not in this splash. I don't think Exile. I don't see him. But I recognize the name Boo Boo Stewart. But yeah, so we've got a new thing coming. I guess this is just like a series, like Marvel Rising as a series. I don't know if they're all going to get their own, like, individual shows and then come together, kind of like a Defenders type thing, or if it's just the show is all of these people.
I hope it's just all these people. Like, just sort of...
it's not really clear right now.
Just an Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but just with these characters.
The film and shorts.
Okay,
so I think it's shorts for each character, and then a film called Marvel Rising Secret Warriors.
And there came a day.
That's what it looks like.
Cool.
But yeah, point is, it's coming. Keep an eye out for it. It actually looks pretty cool, and it's all animated, in case I didn't say that. Mm-hmm. Moving on, we're going to skip the DC stuff for right now. First, plot details for X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, we've talked about this before. It's being directed by Simon Kinberg, who's written a lot of the X-Men movies before. He famously wrote The Last Stand. So this is kind of his, I think, attempt to fix that story, which was butchered by the studio before it actually got made. But yeah, he can now do it the way he originally wanted to. But but it gives some slight plot details. If you don't want to know anything about the movie, feel free to skip this part.
Or read the comic.
But,
you could always read the comic. It's been out for 40 years.
True. But yeah, this is another one where there's a 10-year gap for some reason. This happens 10 years after X-Men Apocalypse, so around 1992, using the same actors that have been playing these characters since the 60s. Explain that one.
Hey man, they're superheroes, they don't age.
I mean, I get it with, like, Jennifer Lawrence, because Mystique does age slower, but I don't friggin' get it for, like, Beast. He's literally been the same actor since the 60s.
They don't motherfucking age, man, in comics. I'm used to this shenanigans. Like, they just don't age.
I guess. Whatever. Anyway, it says the mutant team are now national heroes after the events of Apocalypse and, doing stuff for 10 years. And James McAvoy's Charles Xavier lands on the cover of Time magazine, which inflates his ego a little too far. Xavier puts the team on more and more dangerous missions, culminating in a space rescue mission gone awry, where a solar flare awakens Jean Grey's dark inner force, the Phoenix. This is going to be a lot more like the actual comic book storyline, where they go to space. They probably deal with whatever space creatures are up there. Jessica Chastain is playing a shape-shifting villain, though they haven't said who she is. And something up in space will, make the Phoenix arise. I assume she'll probably die. They'll think she's gone, and then she'll come back as Dark Phoenix and be the villain. Most likely. Okay,
I really hope they recreate. Because they're going into space already. They're already stepping there. I really, as a person who's read that era of X-Men comics, I really hope they recreate Jean coming out of the water like, I am reborn, I am Phoenix, and there's this great image of her in her green and gold costume. Oh my god, they're actually...
Where would she get that costume from if she's underwater?
Look, man, the Phoenix Force can do anything, okay? Don't question it. You're questioning things, all right. I don't like it.
I see it being more like they had a cover of Entertainment Weekly of, like, Jean Grey in, like, kind of, like, bursting out in flames. And I'd see her coming back like that, like just being kind of like a bunch of flames, and then she would get the suit like sometime during the movie.
Well, I mean, it'd be cooler if they just did in the comics. The thing crashes basically, and they don't know. They think she's dead because like all the other X-Men are like, maybe they won't do this for the movie, but the other X-Men are off at this point, and Jean Grey, the ship crashes, they look for Jean. Jean rises out of the water, and there she is in her full new costume. Spoilers, that actually is not Jean Grey. Jean Grey is actually at the bottom of the sea, and she's the one that comes out is actually a clone. So, yeah. I don't think they'll do that in the movie because that's just a little too complicated.
They probably won't go that crazy. But it'll probably just be her.
So they're already almost there. I desperately just want a recreation of that shot with her arms extended, like proclaiming that she is Phoenix now. Like, I want that image. You're there, Simon. You're there. Now give me the green and gold costume. Don't give me some black latex shit. Give me the green and gold.
Anyway, there were a few photos released too. They're not part of this article, but one of them did show a funeral. So apparently there's some twist halfway through the movie that will change the course of the franchise. I would assume that's going to be like her death and, a risal.
Yeah, her death and then
revival as Phoenix, and that funeral scene is her funeral, most likely. Probably. I doubt she kills someone. Although if she does, it'll probably be Mystique, because Jennifer Lawrence doesn't look like she wants to do these movies anymore.
Well, off topic, in the interview, she did say she fucked herself by signing up for this movie again, so... She's also the one that got Simon Kinberg to direct the movie, though. So. Which in turn got her to be back for this movie, which is funny.
Right.
Yeah. Look, all I'm saying is...
I could see them killing her off, is the point.
All I'm saying is, Jean Grey doesn't have to kill a person. I want her to destroy a planet, because that's what happens in the original series. She doesn't kill anybody. There's no spoilers. She destroys a whole planet of life forms. Like 500 million life forms. Like, because she's like...
Oh, I mean, that solar flare that enacts Phoenix will probably destroy that planet that they were... doing the rescue mission.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, seriously,
I almost guarantee it.
Give me cosmic, because that's the thing that hasn't been shown in the X-Men movies at all, is the cosmic level. But I'll shut up now because I feel like we're going too long.
No, it's cool. I will say real quick that there are also rumors that they've possibly been filming 2 movies at the same time and not mentioning that, and that this is actually a 2-parter. and it'll end with some cliffhanger about, Dark Phoenix, and then the next, there'll be another one, in 6 months to a year. So you're actually getting the entire Dark Phoenix story, because it's too dense to fit into one movie.
Yeah, there's a lot. I hope that means we'll get the reemergence of the Hellfire Club, because the Hellfire Club actually plays a role in the emerge of, Jean actually going Dark Phoenix. Her, just saying, you know what? I'm a fucking god.
That'd be awesome. I loved them in First Class.
Right.
So I'd love to see them come back 30 years later.
Exactly. The new Hellfire Club.
Yeah, but we'll see. I just wanted to put that all out there real quick because I'm actually pretty excited for this movie.
Same.
All right. So, final story here. No surprise, Justice League has not done well. We both liked it, but, box office wise, it's been middling. I think it's right around 600 million worldwide, which is about its budget. So, not great. But now Warner Brothers is planning to reorganize the DC films, to make up for the fact that, this didn't do well. They want to focus on, what worked, what didn't, although they don't realize that they're what didn't work, not the movies themselves. If they just stay away and let the people make their friggin' movies, then maybe they'll do better. Instead, they're just okay, well, people were complaining about Superman. Instead of realizing, oh, no, you probably should have done reshoots where you had to digitally remove his mustache and make him look stupid. It's well, we're not going to do a Superman movie now. Or, Cyborg was kind of boring, so there's no more Cyborg movie. They're getting all of the wrong,
messages?
Messages out after the results of this.
Signals? Trespassing? Do not enter.
Right. So, yeah, they're moving some stuff around, and it's all of the corporate people at Time Warner, because they have way too much control over this friggin' franchise. They don't have, a Kevin Feige like Marvel does, that makes all the decisions and just, gets to make them. They have all these corporate heads that look at the dailies and complain about the results, and they're no, this movie has to be 2 hours. So we can get more showings of it. And then they, cut half the good content out of it. Things like that ruin the movie. And so all those corporate leaders are disappointed in how Justice League did. So they're going to be reworking some stuff, putting different people in charge, and they're wanting to keep Jeff Johns kind of in control of the DC universe. He's kind of their Kevin Feige, but they don't give him enough control to actually be that position. He's more advisory, whereas all the corporate leaders make all the actual creative decisions, which they shouldn't do. And they're also not going to let Zack Snyder back after, he's done with his bereavement period and everything, which has left him pretty disappointed because he wanted to see his version of Justice League. I wouldn't have minded seeing it either, honestly, from some of the stuff that's come out about it. And kind of as a result of this, to transition into the next story real quick, and we can talk about it both. Recently, I think over the weekend at the Comic-Con experience in Brazil, which is one of the biggest Comic-Cons in the country, or in the world apparently, they announced their new slate, which is still a mess because they don't have directors or actors attached to half the things they announced. They showed off a Wonder Woman 2, with Roman numerals, Roman columns as the 2, which is kind of fun. And then Aquaman, which is already done. Of course, that's coming with a new logo. Flashpoint, the Flash movie, which we already knew about. And then a card for Justice League Dark, which I don't think anyone expected, but I would kind of assume is their Justice League 1.5. I don't want to get into too much of why I think that is because it's a spoiler, but I think it's going to be kind of leading into Justice League 2, which they didn't announce. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Correct, Mundo.
And then there was Suicide Squad 2, which is interesting. Batgirl, Shazam, Green Lantern Corps, and The Batman, which is the solo movie from Matt Reeves.
Not starring Ben Affleck.
Right. They pretty much confirmed that it would not have Ben Affleck, and he's wanting someone younger. That had kind of been teased for a while. Some movies that have been announced before and are no longer on the slate are Cyborg, Justice League 2, Black Adam, Deathstroke, or any of the Harley Quinn movies that were announced. So So yeah, and the only things that actually have dates so far are Aquaman, obviously, because it comes out next year. Wonder Woman 2 for November 1st, 2019. And Shazam on April 5th, 2019. So that's one movie for next year. And 2 for 2019. And that's it as far as things we have dates for. There's no directors announced for anything other than Aquaman and, the Batman and Wonder Woman 2. No, I think Shazam has a...
Shazam.
Okay, I said this terribly. There's no director for Justice League Dark, the Green Lantern Corps, or I think Suicide Squad 2. There's no actor announcements for Green Lantern, Batman, Batgirl, or Justice League Dark.
So basically we're in the same state as we've been with DC movies before. They announce shit's either going to get made or get not made. More likely it's not going to get made because this is how they roll.
Basically. They keep announcing... the point is they keep announcing things before they have anything to actually announce, and then they figure out how they're going to make them.
Right.
Whereas like Marvel, they'll announce something by bringing out the actor for that part. Like, do you remember how we got the Captain Marvel announcement like 3 years before they were planning on making Captain Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
But they already had Brie Larson on screen, on stage to hype it?
Mm-hmm.
DC doesn't get that. They're just like, what can we make that'll do well? And then they just decide to make it, and then they're like, okay, let's get this out there to get some goodwill. And then when they finally actually, like, you know,
Push comes
find
to
a
shove.
director and an actor and stuff, they struggle and then cancel it.
It's too
Or,
hard.
you know, what, yeah. Or like with Justice League, like, they were hoping to use that to branch out the rest of the universe. Like, you know, make the next Superman movie and at one time they were going to do a Cyborg and Flash movie before they decided to do Flashpoint instead. And now, like, you know, basically of the people from the Justice League, we're not going to have the same Batman after this. There's no mention of Superman anywhere in any of these movies. No mention of Cyborg anywhere in any of these movies. Like, Flashpoint is going to be kind of unrelated to Flash, because that's basically another Justice League 1.5 if you factor in how the story should actually go, with like an alternate universe Batman and then like Wonder Woman and Aquaman
This is
fighting.
an alternate universe story.
And yeah. So it's not that much about Flash. So it's like they don't know what they're doing. Like, Flashpoint's a great story, but it should not be the first Flash movie. I think we've talked about this before. And Justice League Dark sounds like what they're basically going to use as, like, instead of what was going to be like the Black Adam and like Deathstroke and all those movies, I have a feeling their Justice League Dark is just going to be like the anti-hero movie. So like they're gonna, you know, there's no Black Adam and Shazam. They have a different villain for that. So they're going to use Justice League Dark to introduce Black Adam and maybe introduce Deathstroke. I could see that. I could also see him just being the villain in the Batman, but you never know. Maybe have a few of the Suicide Squad characters in there for good measure. Introduce a few new ones. Maybe have like I don't think they need to, but maybe have like a big screen version of Constantine. You know, maybe like Swamp Thing. Some characters like that. But there's no bearing for that movie at all. At least with Justice League, we knew who, you know, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman were before Justice League. Like, they have no idea what they're doing. And it's upsetting, because I want them to succeed.
Right, but I feel like we're spitting shreds at this point.
We are. And this is like the third slate announcement that we've gotten since this all started. And the only things that seem like have been consistent are Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
My man!
Flash, kind of. Because it was a different Flash movie, now it's Flashpoint. And Green Lantern. I think those are the only things that have been the same. Because there was a different Batman movie that was going to be Ben Affleck and all that.
Well, they announced
now it's a standalone with...
They announced the Batgirl movie a while ago with Joss Hack-Whedon.
Yeah, but that wasn't part of like their initial slate of things.
Oh, right. Correct. Yeah, pretty much Green Lantern.
They basically had like everything up through Justice League and then a few more after it.
Yeah.
There was no Wonder Woman 2 technically, but Wonder Woman was already, you know, in place, so we could have assumed there was going to be a sequel.
And then it busted down the patriarchy.
Right. Suicide Squad 2 was never a sure thing. I'm not really sure why they're doing that, except maybe to bring good faith back from the first one.
Zero, it made a lot of money. It made a lot.
Yeah, but it was panned.
Right, but it made a lot of money.
I think they're probably just wanting to basically do the Suicide Squad movie they should have done the first time and have the Joker be the main villain and all that stuff.
Ew, Jared Leto's Joker.
Maybe not Jared Leto's Joker. Maybe a different Joker.
Hopefully.
You never know.
Let me be the Joker.
And then they didn't have Shazam on there originally, but there was a Black Adam movie, so that's kind of similar. But yeah, like, this is all a mess. I don't know what to think of it.
Yeah.
But, like, I like the state they ended at the end of Justice League, and so I want to see that team more. But there's barely anything listed here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can you imagine they did this after the first Avengers movie and we didn't get Iron Man 3, Thor Dark World? Well, a lot of people give it Thor Dark World, but I love it. A Winter Soldier. Can you imagine if we didn't get that after fucking Avengers 1? People would have been mad.
Yeah.
But whatever. Sorry.
Yeah. Marvel's over there with their 20 movie announcements that, you know, we don't even know in Phase 4, and their possible acquisition of every Marvel character they've ever, you know, well, ever owned in the comics, I should say. And DC's over here, they've had all of their characters they've owned for the entirety of their existence, and they still can't get it right. They're not struggling with studio deals or anything. They just don't know what to do with their own characters. Maybe they should be bought out by other places.
Stop making that talk, because then you're going to get Disney thinking, and I don't want that shit.
I don't mean Disney.
Well,
I just mean, like, honestly, I don't think Marvel Studios would be in the place it was in if they didn't have, you know, the deals with Sony and Fox and stuff back in the day.
Well, I mean, right. They would have to. We would get a lot of Spider-Man and X-Men movies because they were the popular ones. They had to rely on Iron Man because that's what they had left. And they became a box office name. So I don't know.
While those other movies were also coming out from the studios.
Right.
So it was saturation.
Right.
DC has owned all of their characters, but we've never really gotten anything other than Batman and Superman movies in the past 20 years.
And we barely just got a Wonder Woman movie that was successful, the most successful out of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like we're spinning treads.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our news section for this week. I hope you like this new format. It does allow us to spend a little bit more time on each thing, because we don't feel rushed through the topics to get to the news and still have like under 2-hour show. We can just kind of do whatever we want with the time. So let us know what you think of this. And of course, all of the news stories. You know, we want to keep the conversation going. We'll try to keep the outros here quick because I want to have an intro and outro for the news and for the actual show. But yeah, I've been your host, Justin. I am at Zero Score on all the places: Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. Ben?
Twitter.com/MarvelSiggy for all things concerning the self-proclaimed Marvelous One.
Yes. And yeah, enjoy the actual watch-along episode next week. And until next time, stay charged.
Put your cookie down!